Hey guys, today we are going to draw a peacock using line, and we're going to make the peacock very close to us. So we're going to make him big on the page so it looks like he's really close and he's in the foreground. Later we're going to add some feathers that it makes it look like he's in the background. So we've got foreground, we've got background. Foreground is usually bigger than the background. So that's where we're going with this today. Let's give it a start. First, what you're going to need is a piece of white paper and a marker. I'm using a Sharpie. The first thing I'd like you to do is go ahead and we're going to make an eye right around the middle area, like so. Notice the size of my finger compared to the size of the circle. We don't want it to be too big. A little bigger, a little smaller will be okay. And then next, we want to make a little bit of detail on the inside of the eye. So we're going to go ahead and create this little circle shape and another little circle shape right here. These will be highlights, and then we'll go ahead and color it in black. This is just creating highlights for our eye. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the beak of our peacock, and we're just going to make a little triangle right in this area. That's going to be the opening part of the beak. Next, we want to make a hook over the top. A little something like that. So it comes a little bit further out than our triangle. And then coming from the point of our triangle, we're going to give him a little bit of a frowny face. Peacocks don't always look super happy. So we're going to give him a little bit of a tiny curve that's going down to meet the tip of the beak. And now lastly, we're going to connect this part of the beak with a super skinny line, like so. So we've got our eye and we've got our beak. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and connect the head to the beak. So we're going to make just a curve. It's slightly curved, and it's going around a little bit past the eye right here. So notice the space. There's a little bit of space between the eye and the back of the head. It's not super close to it. So far, so good. We've got our eye, we've got our beak, and we've got our head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make the back of the head. We're going to just bring it down just a little bit. And now we want to connect this down to the bottom of the paper. So we're going to do a slight S curve. We're going to go in just a little bit and then out. I'm going to be careful not to go off my page. I do have some under paper here, but if you're using a Sharpie, you definitely don't want to get this on your table that you're working on. So be wary of that. Okay, now our next step is we're going to do the bottom of the head. So coming from our beak area, we're just going to make a slight line like so. It's not touching the S. It's pretty close to it though, because they have really thin necks. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring this down, and I'm giving him a little bit of a chest here. So notice that it's thin here and it's thicker down here. So we've got our head, we've got our beak, and now we've got our body, which is looking pretty good. We're saving all of this space here for later. We're going to go ahead and add feathers to that area later. But right now, let's give it a little bit of detail on the top of the head. Let's give it a crown of feathers, if you will. So right in this area, we are going to make some circles. A series of small circles, smaller than the eye. And they're touching. Now I'm going to go ahead and make another little row behind it. See how I'm doing half circles to make it look like there's circles behind it? It's real quick and easy. Right from the center of one circle, go ahead and make a curve and go to the center of the other circle. Makes it look like we have a little crown. Maybe make a couple more on the side. Now we're going to connect these. with some feather lines. So we'll start in the middle and we'll come down. Trying to make some nice thin lines here with my Sharpie. It's a little thick, but this will work. They're all connected to the top of the head, coming out like this. So it looks very similar to a fancy crown on the top of our peacock head. Maybe I'll throw a few more little lines in there, just to make it look like it's more detailed. A couple more connections. And we're looking pretty good. We're in good shape right now. So the next step is to add a little bit more detail. Right around the eye section, right here. I'm gonna just make one little line coming out, straight out. And then from this part of the eye down near the beak, we're gonna make an L shape. We wanna connect this to the beak. See that little L shape I just created, touching the eye to the beak? Go ahead and do that for me. Now we're going to take this line up here and we're going to connect this down here as well. So this is going to be a shape that looks like this. So we've got a nice little shape of detail. This is just part of the patterning of the bird. Now coming up here near the beak, we're going to go ahead and make another line for pattern. It's going to touch the top of the eye, like so. And then we're going to go like this. A tiny little triangle coming out of that top of the eye. And then we'll bring it back down like so. This is just more patterning on the face. Maybe we'll go ahead and add a little nostril there for detail. We're in decent shape. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some wings. Now, the wings and the tail feathers of a peacock, when it's in full bloom or plume, I'm not sure what the term is, you would see them behind, and that's what we're going to do later. But for now, right along the side of the body here, we're going to make an upside down wave shape. So we're just going to make a little scalloped shape like this, just a few. We'll do a few over here too. 1, 2, 3. This is going to be the start of our wing. We're going to go ahead and make a scalloped pattern over here that's going to look like wings on the side. So far we're looking pretty good. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did up here with our circles. We're going to do half circles on top, another half circle on top. Do it over here too. Half circle on top, half circle on top. So it looks like we're filling it up with these interesting little shapes. Maybe I'll do another one over here. All right, so we're going to continue. We're going to keep on moving and do more. And we'll do some more over here. And our goal is to make this look like a wing shape with a pattern in it. So we've got a really nice pattern going on. So just keep adding until you're happy. Maybe you don't want your wings to be so full. I'm going to stop soon. I'm starting to like the shape of my wings. It looks pretty good. All right, I'm kind of happy with this. But we can keep adding more if you want, and just keep doing that scallop shape, and it doesn't take too long. Again, those half circles, or a scallop shape, whatever you want to call it. And I think we're looking pretty good. All right, so that's going to be it for today. We have done a lot of beautiful drawing. We're in good shape. I'm liking where we're at. Save this for now. Put this in a safe place and bring it out next time we have remote art class together. We're going to add to this. And it's going to be amazingly detailed by the time we're done with it. Right now, like I said, we're in good shape. We're on the right track. It's looking great. I'm going to see you for part 2 next time. See you then.